Days after Nigeria's ruling party formally unveiled its vice presidential candidate, the Tinubu Shettima ticket is receiving support from party members and beyond. NatSound, one of the numerous support groups for APC's presidential flag bearer, Ahmed Tinubu, is at the National Assembly to further garner support for the ticket. The Asiwaju Pact with Citizens campaign organization is a platform that seeks to rally Nigerians towards transformation of the country with an Ahmed Tinubu presidency. The group seeks to increase youth participation in the forthcoming elections. Receiving the visiting team, Deputy Speaker Ahmed Idris says none of the candidates in other political parties has the qualities and capacity of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He assures the group of his personal commitment and support to actualize the Tinubu Shettima ticket, as well as victory for the party in 2023.
There's no doubt that the choice of Asiwaju, first I want to say power comes from God. It has demonstrated equally, equitably. He has given out his best. He has been in the political terrain for years. He has developed people. There is no segment of society that you go, you don't have one person or the other that has helped or touched. And I believe that he is the candidate to be.
The high point of the visit was the formal announcement of the Deputy Speaker as the chairman of the group's National Advisory Council. Months after all the university-based unions embarked on strike, an end to the industrial action seems far in sight. SANU and NASU are two of the 4 unions across the nation's universities. They have called this news conference to make known their dissatisfaction with reports that the NIMI Bricks Committee recommended 10% increase in their salaries. The 2 unions insist they were not privy to such information.
You treated with one union and you reach conclusion, and the kernel of the renegotiation is money. We don't need to go to the market square to begin to make announcement to say there is bias.
We have read in the news that an interim report was submitted to government, and that as far as we are concerned, we have not exhaustively discussed with this committee beyond the 2 meetings, and that there are areas of interest that we have not even touched at all. One of it is the issue of salaries.
Both unions say they remain undaunted and undeterred in the face of government's resolve to stop their salaries. Joke Adsa, TVC News, Abuja.
I understand the charge read to me and I am not guilty. This was the response of the former Accountant General of the Federation as the registrar of the court read out a 14-count charge to him. His co-accused Godfrey Akindele and Mohammed Usman also pleaded not guilty, while a plea of not guilty was entered for Gezawa Commodity Markets and Exchange Limited, being a corporate entity. Although a bail application has been filed and served on the prosecution, counsel to Mr. Idris Chris Uche prayed the court to allow the defendants to continue enjoying the administrative bail granted them by the EFCC. He said the defendants have not in any way breached the terms of the bail granted to them, and they have always appeared before the EFCC whenever they are called. Prosecuting counsel Rotimi Jacobs opposed the bail plea made by the defendants' counsel. He prayed the court to remand the defendants and allowed them at a later date argue a proper bail application which Mr. Uche has filed, and not an oral application. He noted that the administrative bail granted to the defendants elapsed the moment the defendants were arraigned. Delivering ruling, Justice Adeyemi Ajayi held that the court is not a puppet dancing to the rhythm of public opinion. She noted that the defendant's counsel has already filed a bail application in accordance with the law and should allow the prosecuting counsel respond. She ordered that the defendants be remanded in Kuje Correctional Facility pending a hearing of the bail application. In the course of reading out the charges to the defendants, the name of the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Finance was removed from the charge. Prosecuting counsel Rotimi Jacobs, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, gave clarification as to why the name was removed from the charge. In May 2022, Mr. Idris was apprehended in Kano following his refusal to honor the EFCC's invitation concerning an alleged fraud investigation. Subsequently, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, informed Mr. Idris of his suspension without pay in a letter dated 18th May. The suspension was in line with public service rules to give room for proper and unhindered investigation. The court adjourned to 27th July. Celestina Uriel, TVC News.